Hello YouTube, this is Magnitude Gaming here with our next episode on the history of competitive play. A week after Michael Lux took the title of champion in Orlando, the scene took us to Long Beach, California. It's crazy to think that 3 of the last 5 events were all held in California, including the last 2 events of 2005. The April 2006 banlist was also looming on us. Duelists were well aware of the changes coming. Some changes included Time Seal, Dark Hole, and Cyberjar being banned, Pot of Avarice, Mask of Darkness, and DD Assailant were put to 1. Graceful Charity and Mirror Force both came off the ban list and were at 1 as well. Even Treeborn Frog, who hadn't been out long, had been put to 1. So with these changes coming, a lot of duelists began to speculate that Dark World would be in a great deck, especially with Graceful Charity coming back. 645 duelists showed up, which made it the second biggest Shonen Jump since Columbus of 2005. So we saw Treeborn Frog make its debut the last Shonen Jump, and while Treeborn Frog was important, it wasn't the only trendsetter at this tournament. Ixarion Universe and Air Knight Parasath found themselves in decks again. We can also throw in Gravekeeper Spear Soldier and even Saber Beetle. Why? Well, it was all due to both Treeborn Frog and Spirit Reaper. Spirit Reaper in particular had become very difficult to get over, so rather than trying to out the card, duelists found ways to punish Reaper's presence. All these cards could pierce right through Reaper. Blowback Dragon was also seeing play. Treeborn Frog made it easier to summon this card. Blowback Dragon could not only out Reaper, but it could also destroy opponent's cards. Since there was still player priority for ignition effects at the time, it was quite good. Creature Swap was also being splashed as a way to exchange a player's own Treeborn Frog for something much more useful, whether it be a big monster or a full effect monster like Magical or Merchant or Tekoichi. Last but not least, there was Sandmoth. As Mystic Assertion level 2 and Zaborg became more popular, this card became an even greater counter to their effects. I mentioned before that a lot of duelists got their starts to their long prolific careers during this time in Yu-Gi-Oh! This event was quite different. The top cut featured more unknown duelists, however, one name did stand out: Adam Korn. This is his first top cut finish. It was SJC Long Beach. Korn would go on to become a future Shonen Jump and national champion. Controversial player for sure, he would go on to be suspended by UD and then Konami during his time as a duelist. Opting to play the standard Chaos deck, Korn didn't main Treeborn Frog, he instead put it in a side deck. There was also Angel Flores, making his second top 8 finish, after making the top cut at Shonen Jump San Fran. It featured 3-time champion of his own. He was playing Trap Hole at this event, as it was becoming a trend, and he was also playing Blowback Dragon and a small Monarch package in his side deck. Steven Adair was playing for a local team called Team Hustle. It was based in Los Angeles. He hadn't participated in many major events before. He main decked 2 Jar of Greeds, similar to what Roy Sinclair had done at the previous Shonen Jump. Adair went undefeated in Swiss, going 10-0. Philip Fitchu was also from California, playing for a small team called Team One Piece. Fitchu wasn't playing any tribute monsters in his main deck. He opted to play Marauding Captain with Sacred Crane. This let him draw an extra card. Crane's attack stats weren't too bad either, actually. Josh Moreno was in his first top 8 appearance. He was the only duelist in top 8 maining Jinzo, and was also maining Sacred Phoenix of the Nethys type engine. He also played DD Survivor. Some of these cards had fallen out of favor in the format. Sang Bui was a former Worlds competitor and runner-up at Nationals 2004, and he was also making his first top 8 appearance at a Shonen Jump. His deck was standard as it could be. Some people would say that he should have played Monarchs, but I felt like his list was probably the most standard of all the top 8 decks, and I actually liked it a lot. Dennis Wu had a standard lineup, but he main decked 3 Solemn Judgments. Solemn Judgment was quite a sight to see at this time. There weren't many people maining them, sometimes using the side. Around 2008 was when Solemn Judgment became more of a staple in a lot of decks. Last but not least, there's Alex Umdanat. He was the second duelist in top 8 to main deck Survivor, a card that had fallen out of favor since the beginning of the format. He opted to not play Pot of Avarice in the main, and opted to main 2 Spirit Reapers instead of 3. The top 8 featured Adair vs Fitchu, Flores vs Liu, Bowie vs Elmdanat, and Moreno vs Korn. There isn't much coverage on the quarterfinals, but the results are known. Adair, Flores, Bowie, and Moreno were all heading to top 4 after their victories. In top 4, Flores was hoping to make it to his second finals appearance. He was up against Moreno. Flores was overwhelmed in the first game, and lost in a few turns after Moreno sacrificed Sacred Phoenix of the Nethys and then summoned Strike Ninja. The second game resulted in both duelists using up all their resources, and they both had the top deck. Flores couldn't get anything and conceded to Moreno. On the other side of the bracket, it was Steven Adair who upset Sang Bui to head to the finals. The second largest Shonen Jump at the time pitted 2 unknown duelists against each other. It was their time to shine, and it's hard to imagine that either of these guys pictured getting this far. I can't imagine what was going through these guys' heads. They both had just taken down 2 really good players. In the first match, both players tried to get advantage, but it was Moreno who had the big plays. Steven Adair tried to set up a Tsukuyomi loop with Mask of Darkness, but Moreno chained Torrential Tribute. Turns later, Adair had a field of monsters, and Moreno hit him with Dark Hole. Moreno summoned Jinzo, and Adair had nothing to stop him. 2 attacks from Jinzo ended it, and Moreno was up on the first game. Game 2 started with Adair on the offense, but a Sacred Phoenix of the Nethys let Moreno take control of the game. Adair, however, didn't panic, and 2 turns later he ended the game. He summoned Chaos Sorcerer to remove the Nethys, used Call of the Haunted to summon Air Knight Parasath, and then summoned Zaborg to destroy Moreno's last monster. All attacked to force a Game 3. Game 3 was a bit slower, but it was all about building momentum. Adair set 2 cards and passed. Moreno attacked with his Cyber Dragon and his Mystic Source level 2, and ran right into a Sand Moth, which was huge for Adair. The next turn, Adair summoned his own Cyber Dragon and attacked. As Moreno tried to get the momentum back, he once again attacked into another Sand Moth. Adair used Heavy Storm and slowly began to build his card advantage. Moreno was backed against the wall, and Mobius cleared the way for Adair to win the game the turn after. Stephen Adair from Team Hustle went into this tournament as an unknown. Heck, even his team was likely unknown. Now he was a Shonen Jump champion and one of the largest Shonen Jumps at the time. The last Shonen Jump may have featured Treeborn Frog making its mark, but this event it was Sandmoth, that not only won the final for Adair, but it was also leave its mark for the upcoming April 2006 format. So that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Our next episode will be SJC Baltimore 2006. That's a T for magnitude, guys. Thanks for watching.